Today is my last day at this school and I don't know how I feel about it. Today is the last day, my last day at this school, and I've taught here for 3 years. And honestly, I did not think, in my first year, I did not think I was going to stay here as long as I did. But by the time I got to my second year, I realized how amazing it is to have worked here.
We can't talk about that, I'm going to cry.
So I decided today that I'm going to make a video about the things that I've learned being an ALT for 3 years at one school. Number one, you have to be adaptable. The teachers are not going to have the same styles, and on average you're going to be teaching with anywhere between 4 to 6 teachers in one school. And if you work with a dispatch company, you will probably be working at multiple schools, so your teaching has to work with all of the teachers. So each teacher will have a different teaching style, so you have to learn how to adapt to each teacher and know what is expected from you as the ALT in the classroom when you're with every single teacher. Number 2, you have to be flexible. So things change very quickly in junior high schools here in Japan. So you could have a schedule that says you're supposed to teach so and so classes with so and so person, and within a couple of hours a teacher could come and say, hey, there's been some changes, something happened, we had to shuffle the class or move some classes around. Your classes could be cancelled or it could be increased. So you just have to learn how to be flexible. Prepare certain lessons beforehand if you do T1 in the school. So prepare certain lessons beforehand just in case out of the blue a JT is asking you to teach a lesson. Number 3 is engagement. So Japanese kids usually at first are not so interested in learning English, so you have to try to make your lessons, if you T1, you have to try to make sure that your lessons are engaging with the students, which means you probably have to do lessons that touch on topics that they find fun, or use things that they find to be fun in your lesson. That is going to make the kids a little bit more engaged, and over time it's going to make them fall in love with learning English. Number 4, patience. Sometimes you can create a beautiful lesson and your student would not be able to get it on time or get it as quickly as you would expect or imagined. It is okay. Be patient with your students as well as yourself. Sometimes you're not going to have the perfect lessons. So other times your students would not enjoy a class as much as you would have hoped. But either way, you just have to be patient with yourself and keep trying your best. Silence does not necessarily mean disinterest. So number 5. Point number 5 is sometimes your students are going to be very, very quiet in the class, and that doesn't necessarily mean they are not enjoying themselves or they do not like the lesson. They probably do. They are just very quiet people and quite shy, and showing out or showing up in class is not something they really do here. So keep that in mind. If your classes they seem to be very quiet, that doesn't mean they are not interested or the class is not interesting. It could just mean that the kids are very shy and it's not in their nature to be very loud in class, except you're teaching elementary school. I've heard it's like a zoo in there. Number 6, confidence. If you're not confident, how do you expect your students to believe what you're saying? So if you're very confident and you come across as someone that is saying something that they actually know, the kids are going to be way more interested to listen to you. So if you're very shy, I would advise that you work on your confidence, because if you're very confident, it makes your students just trust you a little bit more. Next is, I would advise that you cultivate some sort of relationship with your JTs and some of the Japanese teachers, and especially your vice principal. This is good because it just makes your working relationship a little bit better. I would not advise you to try to be buddies with them, but be very cordial. Try to be open a little bit, not too much, but just to be a little bit open. They ask you, how was your summer vacation? How was your spring break? Give them, a little rundown of what you did. Be as vague as possible so it doesn't seem like you're revealing too much about your life if you're not comfortable with that. Also, do not forget to come or bring omiyage. Come with omiyage anytime you travel. If you can't afford it, bring omiyage. It just helps to butter the relationship up, I guess.
I'm not a kid's ass.
Finally, I would say enjoy your small and big wins. There's not a lot of them in this job, I would like to think sometimes, but there are a lot of small wins that you should very well enjoy or celebrate. So yeah, I think you should do that. For me, recently, one of the grade 3 students needed to do a conversation practice for his entrance exam, and I am one of the JTs, helped him out with that. And come to find out, he got into the high school he wanted to go to. It's a private high school, so I guess the process was a little bit more strict. So he got into it, and that for me was a big win, and I was so happy for the kid. So yeah, celebrate your big and small wins. They are just as important as you doing your job and getting your paycheck. It's how you touch these kids, it's how you touch their lives. I don't think the ALTs do anything crazy in the large scheme of things, but sometimes, it's nice to see that, your presence in the school is yielding positive results. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching up to this point, and happy 3 years at one school to me. And this would be my goodbye to this school. I don't know if I'll be able to come back. I wish I would, because I love it here. It's an amazing school. The teachers are amazing. The vice principal, chef's kiss. I have never had an issue with any of them. They are really cool, chill people. They make sure I am able to do my job to the best of my abilities, and teaching with them has just been a joy. So yeah, I hope every other ALT gets to experience this kind of school, because I have experienced a school that is awful. So I know it can be crazy out here in the streets. So I hope you get to enjoy being in a school where you are not stifled or made to feel like you don't belong, or like your presence is not needed, even though you're literally paid to be there. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your schools. And for those that want to become ALTs in the future in Japan, I do think it's a worthy endeavor. I do think it's a beautiful job, being able to teach kids and being able to touch their lives, even if it's just for a little bit, or it's not that crazy. It's still so wonderful. I think it's a wonderful thing. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.